Welcome to Fashionably Broke.
I'm kidding, don't use that.
Just wear whatever the hell you
Like,
want.
literally just...
We're living on a McDonald's budget.
Just because you're broke doesn't mean you have to dress like it.
Hey guys, a day late and a lot of dollars short, but welcome back to another episode of Fashionably Broke Podcast, hosted by yours truly. Hi, me, Maddy Schweppy. Wow. Okay, so yeah, breaking news, guys. I am a day late on the podcast, but my big announcement is I am officially moving the podcast release days to Thursdays. I know, crazy. I'm so sorry, but honestly, I just feel like with my schedule, with me doing it by myself, it just truly makes more sense for me to release on Thursdays. That way I can give y'all all of the tea y'all have been looking for and wanting, and why y'all truly listen to Fashionably Broke. Because I mean, duh, I am your media outlet. I am your media source. I am your news anchor. So buckle up because I have a very exciting episode. And that was the breaking news. So Thursdays, all right? Tune in now every Thursday for a brand new episode of Fashionably Broke Podcast. But like I said, I have a very exciting episode for you guys. And I think that we just need to get straight into what has been breaking the internet this past week. And ding dong, ding dong. I know that was like a Christmas tune, but do y'all hear that? Those are wedding bells. And they're not my wedding bells, so don't get your hopes up. But this past week, we had two huge influencers get married, and their weddings have honestly completely broken the internet. So we need to break it down. And I am talking Paige Lorenz, aka Paige Paul, and Shay Sullivan. Okay, so let's just get straight in to Paige Lorenz, aka now Miss Paige Paul. She got married last Tuesday in Long Island, and wow, wedding of truly the century, because it was literally something out of a magazine, and it actually was in a magazine, Vogue to be exact. And I think that we got exactly what we were expecting from Miss Paige Paul. It was truly picturesque. It was perfect. The details, everything within the details of this wedding. And we knew that Miss Paige would go in a very classic, very timeless wedding theme, if you will. And I mean, she looked absolutely stunning. I need to start with the dress, of course. This is Fashionably Broke. We love fashion. And she got her dress made in the USA by Caroline Herrera, and it was absolutely stunning. I truly don't know what I was expecting out of Paige's dress, but honestly, it was everything and more. I think it was so classic, it was so timeless, and just very true to Paige and like who she is down to her core. I know that, looking at her history, she has really evolved, but I don't even want to say evolved. She has gone from the Paige that started out on the internet, New York influencer, very much in the scene, to really kind of like changing her personal brand back to like who she really was in her core and her roots. With Dairy Boy, and I think that she started Dairy Boy when she was in New York, and it didn't necessarily feel authentic to the persona that she was presenting online. So she moved back to Connecticut, dove heavy into her businesses, and, just like really became almost like a homemaker, but not in a trad wife type of way, in a very modern and I feel like relatable type of way, that she loves staying home. She loves cooking. She loves gardening. She loves being outdoors. And I know she talks about being outdoors a lot, how she grew up in sports. And obviously she married Tommy Paul, who is the professional tennis player. And I feel like this wedding really embodied who they were as a couple, especially in the location, because I feel like a lot of people were kind of like, okay, Long Island, like that's kind of crazy, but it does relate back to like their love story, kind of like how they met, when they met. And honestly, I think that the venue was absolutely stunning. It was gorgeous. It didn't even look like it was in Long Island, New York. It was absolutely stunning, breathtaking. And the one thing that I'm like, I want more. I want more. I want more. I want more. I know she's slowly sharing things from her wedding and in like her own way, in her own rollout. You could definitely tell that she took a little bit of time from when she got married to kind of bask in married life and has been slowly releasing, with the first post being with Vogue, which is just so iconic and perfect. And like honestly, a dream come true because hello, I want my wedding in Vogue. But going kind of back to the details, I feel like the details, it was a very simple wedding. And I feel like there's been so much talk on the internet about her wedding, about it kind of like changing the wedding game, moving away from, trying to be this picture perfect Pinterest wedding that's trying to be trendy, that's trying to be keeping up with the times. And while I see where everyone's coming from with that notive and that motive, I don't necessarily 100% agree. I feel like I truly just feel like she wasn't following the trends. She kept everything very classy, very elegant, very understated. She didn't go overboard with the florals, with the decor. I feel like she really embodied the venue and the nature around her. And I feel like she was able to kind of like decorate and create a setting that really enhanced the venue and like the nature around her, which I think is really, really, really hard to do. So you definitely have to have like that eye and you have to be very intentional with everything that you do for your wedding. And I think that's exactly what she did. Even down to the welcome drinks. I mean, the welcome drinks were, I forget what they're called, but basically they're the drinks that are served at the US Open, where it has like the little, not grapefruit, the melon balls. It was so perfect. And I mean, I loved it. Like I said, we're still kind of seeing the release of like the details and the information about her wedding. But one thing, which is such a weird thing that stood out to me, was her tent. I was obsessed with her tent. I don't know why. I just think that the little flag details at the top in the venue, it just made sense. It was perfect. It was stunning. And I feel like you don't really see tents like that at a lot of weddings with the flags on top. I just feel like it was such a unique and amazing detail. And one thing I also do love is she really didn't hint at anything leading up to her wedding. Everything was very on the hush hush. It was kept very secret. And I kind of love that. I also kind of speaking on like the hush hush and like not much information leaked before and like prior to her wedding. One wedding that I'm really, really looking forward to is Bridget Fulong. And I know that she's getting married super, super soon. She said that she was only a few weeks out. So I cannot wait to cover that wedding because I just know it's going to be chef's kiss and amazing. I'm not done talking about Paige's wedding, but I do kind of want to pivot into Shay Sullivan's wedding, which I feel like there's been a lot of discourse on the internet when it comes to, girls and, you have like the clean girl aesthetic and, the messy girl aesthetic and yada, yada, yada. And I just think it's so funny that a lot of people are like, okay, so are you a Paige wedding or a Shay wedding? And I was talking to my friends about this, and I'm smack dab in the middle. I loved both weddings. And I feel like the one thing is like they were very true to the creators themselves. Okay, Shay Sullivan. So if you aren't familiar with Shay Sullivan, she is a creator and influencer here in Nashville, which was so amazing to see. But she got married in Italy. And guys, when I tell y'all, her wedding was literally taken from a storybook. It was so ethereal and just fairy tale like that I am in love. I'm obsessed. And I just feel like her personality and like them as a couple really shone through. And kind of going back to the conversation that is surrounding Paige's wedding is a lot of people are like, she's breaking the barrier. She's getting us away from, the Pinterest wedding. But I think that Shay also did the same. I think that she wanted to create an environment. And this is something that I really do appreciate. Obviously, I didn't attend her wedding, but I feel like the way that she set up each aspect of her wedding, from the welcome party to the ceremony to the reception to the after party, I feel like she kind of set the scene and set the stage and set a story with intention behind each. I feel like the only way I know how to describe it is I feel like she really focused on the senses of, the person. I feel like from the ceremony, it was very, very fairy tale. It was very literally you're opening up a storybook and you're reading about a princess getting married to her prince. And I feel like the decor and just like the aesthetic and the vibe really showed that and really kind of let the attendees feel it in that moment. And then pivoting to the reception into the after party, she set another scene. You know, okay, fairy tale, now let's party. And what I really loved is I feel like she took a lot of inspiration from Saltburn. And the very end of Saltburn, if you've seen it, is like this crazy Saltburn party, and, everyone's dressing up as, these super mystical, fairy tale creatures, and I absolutely loved it. I think, again, it offers the attendees something that kind of tingles their senses. It's creating an entire vibe, and I feel like that really enhances the moment within itself. And obviously, they hired a content creator to post in real time, which was something I feel like that's so special and something that we're really seeing in weddings nowadays is yes, of course, like you want to be in the moment. So of course, hire a wedding content creator that is able to capture moments that you're not going to be on your phone to capture yourself. And I feel like that also offers just like really special keepsakes and really special moments that you now have proof of that you can look back on whether scrolling through your phone, posting online, or, not posting anywhere and getting them printed and put all over your house. I think that that's something really special. And I feel like they've documented a ton leading up to their wedding, whether it's prep and just, dropping little hints here and there. And so I think it was really special that obviously they're content creators, they are influencers, they post in real time, people look forward to their content. So why not continue that throughout their wedding, but also being able to be present and in real time? And I don't know, honestly, like thinking about it and talking about it a lot with like friends and obviously to you guys. Now I'm kind of like, I think I might be leaning more towards like a Shay Sullivan vibe. I just really loved the story that she was able to encapsulate and present to her guests. And I just feel like it just makes it so much more special because it's not like, oh, it's another wedding I have to go to. I have another wedding this weekend. Like, I feel like attendees and guests are able to kind of reflect back on, wow, I went to Italy for the best party and celebration of my life, and I'm never going to live it down. And like, nothing will ever be able to top that. And I think then, like, obviously having their wedding in Italy and then, pivoting to they're on their honeymoon, they're posting, they're in Croatia, and you're just kind of like following along their whole journey, which I think is so special. And I mean, just the details that both creators were able to really show and encapsulate in their wedding is, I mean, it was just amazing. Like, I'm obsessed. And one thing about Paige's wedding is obviously she married Tommy Paul, and he's a professional tennis player. And she talks about it a lot in her content is that tennis doesn't have like an off season like most sports do. So she had to get married on a Tuesday, which again, I feel like is kind of special. And I feel like it kind of breaks that barrier of, the wedding industry right now and just like how insane it is. And, I come across other people on TikTok that are talking about like their weddings and they're just regular people. And they're like, the wedding industry has just truly gotten out of hand. And for a lot of people, your only options to be cost effective are getting married on a Friday or a Sunday. And everyone dreads a Friday or a Sunday wedding. No offense if you've gotten married on a Friday or a Sunday. It sucks. But I think that kind of being able to like change that narrative to someone that's so famous to get married on a Tuesday, I don't know. I just think was great. And two, obviously she had other creators invited to her wedding. So they were posting in real time, obviously not posting any details, but it just was really, really cool to be able to see everything come together. And I feel like there's just been so much lead up, especially to Paige's wedding, that it just really was so cool and so special. And with both creators. You can really just see like their love shining through what's being posted and just like how happy they are. And again, I feel like, yes, obviously their weddings were very outlandish and very expensive, most likely. But I feel like it was done in such a tasteful way, and them posting about it has been done in such a tasteful way that it's, I don't know, kind of like giving the wedding industry and like weddings a little bit more of like a positive taste in a lot of people's mouths because I there are so many creators that have gotten married and, there's a lot of discourse about it and just like how people are like, well, I wish I could afford that big of a wedding, but I feel like they've been able to post it in such a way where they're not getting that like lash back. They're not getting that hate and that commentary. And so like I don't know, it just really shows that like yes, a wedding, you can have the nicest florals, you can have the nicest venue, you can have the nicest and prettiest dress, but like it all really just goes back to the couple and like the love they share. And I feel like like I said, I'm just gonna repeat myself. They've really been able to like capture that and portray it back to their audience, which is, I don't know, just so sweet. And staying on the wedding front, one wedding I want to talk about that I didn't really talk about was Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's wedding. And what is surprising to me is that they really haven't released anything about their wedding. Obviously, they got married at Madison Square Garden, which honestly, for someone like Taylor Swift, that is probably the most perfect place to get married. And obviously, a ton of people are talking about it. And just in a sense of like, they have some of the best security in the world, aka New York, the NYPD. They're in an arena and they have the privacy so that paps aren't in their business, fans aren't in their business. Like literally no details have been leaked from their wedding, which is so crazy to me that like literally nothing, not one little bit has been leaked. But I am very curious to see like what her wedding dress was like and yeah. Oh, but also, sorry, let me pivot back again to Paige's wedding. Her second look was absolutely stunning. And honestly, I feel like what I envisioned Paige to wear for her wedding, I thought it was stunning. I thought it fit her perfectly and beautifully. And her hair, her makeup, I feel like everything was just very true to who she is at the core. And then Shay's wedding, I mean, she just looked absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I loved her second look too. The all feathers, the mask, and her hair. Guys, can we please talk about how perfect her hair is? I mean, I really like she truly did look like a princess from the movies that I watched growing up as a kid. Like she just looked stunning and she did her own makeup, which again is just absolutely insane and just like I'm in awe. She needs to drop the routine and everything that she did for her wedding makeup right now because I'm obsessed. I want to recreate it. I want to see other celebrity makeup artists recreate it. It was perfect. Like no notes. No notes at all. But back to Taylor and Travis. One thing I saw on TikTok the other day was did they get a dog? I need my Swifties to like speak up in the comments. Did they get a dog? Because I saw someone post like a paparazzi shot of them getting out of their private jet with a dog. And obviously we all know that Taylor Swift is a cat lady through and through. And so I just like am curious to know, did she get a dog? And obviously it was Travis's idea that he wanted a dog. I also want to know like what house are they living in? Like where are they living? Like what is that arrangement like? Obviously we know that Taylor Swift has 1,010 houses. So I just want to know like where do they reside? Like where's their permanent residence? Also with Paige Lorenz and Tommy Paul, they both bought two houses, one in Connecticut and then the other Tommy bought in Florida. And I know she's talked about it quite a bit that they are going back and forth and it just makes more sense for their lifestyle. But I'm curious to see like where they spend the most time and also like they had been living apart. Obviously, whenever Tommy has time, like they go visit each other and stay at each other's houses. But I am curious to see, like, is she going to are they gonna be, like, together more? Are they gonna be traveling more with each other to back and forth to each other's homes? Um, that is something I'm so curious about, guys. Okay, in other news, I am gonna talk about the In the City reunion part one that was just released. And you guys, I watched it this morning and I really hate to say it. I hate to say it, but Kenny and Whitney, I cannot stand. I'm sorry. Moment of silence. I just can't stand them. I really loved Lindsay this season, and I really loved her starting to like open up about her relationship with her mom because I feel like that is a conversation that doesn't necessarily happen a lot as something I'm not necessarily aware of. I feel like in pop culture, in celebrity stories, in reality TV, you hear a lot about people that have estranged relationships with their fathers. I feel like that is just talked about a lot more in today's culture and today's society. And I feel like it is pretty rare to hear about an estrangement with your mom. And it's something that I actually can relate with, and I think that it's something that needs to be discussed more because I feel like in today's society, you get on social media and you just hear and or see a lot of posts about like, oh, my mom's my best friend, especially when it comes to girls, just being like, I don't know what I would do if I didn't talk to my mom every single day. And I feel like as someone that doesn't necessarily have that type of relationship, it's hard and it like can bog you down and like get you in your head and be like, "Well, I'm missing out on, like, this certain aspect of life that everyone else seems to be able to relate to and something I can't relate to." And so I think it's just like a conversation. I feel like it's a topic that a lot of people don't necessarily talk about, and I'm really, really glad that she uses her platform and is using her platform to discuss it and kinda, like, discuss her navigating adulthood when it comes to, like, having that relationship with her mom or lack thereof relationship with her mom, and then going into parenting a baby girl. And obviously, within the city, there has been a lot of talk about the single mom card or just the mom card in general because Whitney trash talked Lindsay and Georgina about it. And I love the conversation that they are bringing up about it and that they're talking about it. And I mean, I think it's great. I think it's amazing that they're standing up for what's right and for what they believe in. And then obviously in the reunion, we rehashed the Amanda West and Kyle of it all and just like the dynamics, the relationships. And one thing is like, Amanda, girl, you just need to shut the hell up sometimes because Andy, asked her, like, is she in love with West? And like, have they said, I love you? And Amanda was like, that's a really weird question. No, it's not. I'm like, that's something that pretty much anyone in a relationship has been asked, like, "Oh, like, are you in love with it? Are they the one?" Like, blah, 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 and, I mean, you can definitely tell that the cast, obviously, like, some of them are, newer friends and, like, newer in the circle, and they kind of all stand the same in the situation of they don't necessarily agree or support it, but obviously, Amanda gave a lot more in this reunion than she did the Summer House reunion, and I'm super excited to see the next part. And I'm also very curious to see if they renew for another season. I would really love for them to renew for another season because I want to see Andrea and his wife's storyline a little bit more and kind of shine through. And then just like a few of the other people. I really do like the cast, and I think that there can be so many amazing things that can come out from the show and like so many amazing directions that they can kind of go in to when it comes to the show because obviously a lot of them are famous Bravo celebrities and like kind of like live that like influencer lifestyle. So I think it would be very cool to see, kind of like the behind the scenes of that. Obviously, they're all starting families. I mean, three of them are pregnant, which is crazy. So I think just being able to, like, follow along their journeys and becoming, new moms, new dads, just, like, how they navigate that and, like, navigate adult friendships. And no, I thoroughly enjoyed it. But like, I'm sorry, Kenny, dude. I mean, like, there are some parts where like I'm like, okay, I kind of like you, and then he does and says something stupid, and I'm like, Kenny, come on, like you were just getting in my good sites. But Whitney, I just really don't know how she can kind of come back from that. Like, she's definitely the villain of the story. But Lindsay did say something really great during this first part of the reunion was, I feel like there was a big storyline of how Whitney didn't necessarily like mesh with the cast. And I think that they brought up a great point was that like Kenny was kind of the reason why. Kenny was the one kind of isolating Whitney from the group, coming in super hot, trying to defend their relationship. And the fact that like he does get so defensive, he just like doesn't hear them out. He didn't give anyone a chance to like get to know them and like get to know like who they are as people and like become friends with them. He just was like fully on the defense the entire time. So I thought it was a really good reunion. And I'm excited to see the seasons grow and kind of like where they bring it in the future. And yeah, if you have not watched In the City, I do highly recommend if you like reality TV. I think it's great because like again, there's a lot of storylines. Obviously, like they are older, but it's not like a housewives situation. It's them like living their lives in New York and um just like navigating friendships, and I think it's good. I also kind of think like it's so funny because like In the City, then you have Next Gen NYC, which is wild because it's like the same thing, but also it's not. Like it's just like the generational gap is so funny to see. But like basically like In the City is what Next Gen would be once they grow up. And so pivoting into Next Gen NYC, I don't know if I've talked about this yet on the podcast. I can't stand Ava. And I think that here's the thing. I think that she's like coming into her own. I think that she is a mean girl at heart. And I think like last season or season one, she was kind of like trying to tone that down. And I think that this year she's just like fully embracing that she is the mean girl. And I mean, she's definitely being like painted as the villain. She gives off very like girl, like guys girl energy, like she just like likes to be around the boys. And then when she's around the guys, it's just like, or when she's around the girls, it's just like, no, no, no. And I also really can't stand Georgia. I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I don't really like her storyline. I want to see Charlie evolve this season a lot. I feel like there's so much potential for him to evolve. Another storyline in Next Gen NYC is Ariana and the Hudson breakup. I love Ariana. I think that Ariana is my favorite character, not character. She's not a character, but my favorite personality on the show. I don't know. I just really like her as a human being. And obviously, her and Hudson broke up, but she has been posting that they are back together, which kind of makes me upset because Liam, who is a new personality on the show, I really like him. And currently in like the season now, they're flirting. She's single. They're going out on dates, or not going out on dates. He came to build her furniture. They went out on a group date, and then going into this week's episode, she is going to his parents' house. And it kind of makes me sad that she is back together with Hudson because like I would have really liked to see where the relationship could have gone. It might have gone horrible, and that's why she's back with Hudson, because obviously all of this was filmed months and months ago. But I really like her storyline. Riley, I really want to like Riley. I think she is just a little lost puppy, and that's really all I have to say on that is I don't know. I just like can't get her down. She obviously hasn't been in many episodes so far this season. And yeah, I freaking love Rowan. I think that's her name, Brooke Shields' daughter. I'm obsessed with her. Honestly, I think that Rowan and Brooke Shields and like their family should have their own reality TV show because they are just that iconic. She is born and raised New Yorker. I love her personality. She's freaking hilarious. and I want to see a lot more of her. I really hope that she comes on for another season. I hope that they show more of her this season too, because I mean, she is just amazing. I love her. But in other news, I want to talk about a very serious topic. And that topic is Zendaya's Odyssey press tour looks. Because, oh my God. Oh my God. Law Roach, literally, you deserve a statue. You deserve a statue because these looks were insane. Hands down, I think that she won. She won. What did she win? I don't know, but she better win a goddamn Oscar for her press tour looks because, oh my God, jaw on the floor, literally one look after another, after another, after another, and they only got better. Only got better. Insane. The Schiaparelli look straight off of the runway at the London premiere. I mean, talk about jaw on the floor. And then her New York, I mean, holy shit, with the wings and the feathers and oh my God, it literally could not get any better. She is just like, she is on top of her game. She is on top of her game. And I mean, the thing is she comes out looking like that, doing her interviews, having her husband, God, her sweet, sweet husband doing interviews, and it just literally makes me want to claw at my throat the fact that we don't even have a single inch of their personal life, which is like respect, yes, 100%. Like, keep your privacy. You're a celebrity. Be private. But like, it just kills me that we know nothing about the life that they live other than just like the little tiny inch that they give us in their interviews. And the fact that they got to work on the movie together, even though I haven't seen it and I know that she's not in it that much, that is on my list of to-dos is I want to go see the Odyssey. I've heard amazing, amazing things. Obviously, it's a 3-hour long movie, so kind of insane, but I've literally heard nothing but the best. And it's on my list. It's on my list. I will go see it. But like the fact that they got to do a movie together, even though they weren't filming really together, if really at all, but just, I mean, it's insane. And the fact that they paused the Spider-Man tour to then do the Odyssey, and then they're pivoting back to Spider-Man. It's just, I mean, the looks are insane. The looks are nuts. She's perfect. She's perfect. And her looks are perfect. And just her relationship that she has with Law Roach, it is a masterpiece. It really, truly is. I mean, like, talk about a perfect pairing between stylist and celebrity. They just understand each other. They understand the assignment and they fucking blow it out of the water. It is crazy. I mean, everything that he puts her in is just insane, which is why I want to see their wedding photos because I just know that her wedding dress was perfect. Like, I can't even imagine, I can't even dream up what her wedding dress would look like because she is just that girl that, I mean, she can wear a paper bag and it looks perfect. I mean, that woman was literally created by the gods, henceforth why Athena was the perfect part for her to play. But like, I mean, even I just like I hate to say it because like obviously her press tour looks have been so insane that it's pretty much overlooked every other cast member in the movie, which the movie has the most insane cast to ever exist, honestly. And I mean, I'm sorry, all eyes are on Zendaya. I mean, that girl has not stopped in the past 2 years, and I don't want her to stop. I want her to keep going. I cannot get enough of her on my phone, on my screen. It's literally never enough. It's never enough, never enough. But speaking of like fashion and just like killing the game, I want to talk about an influencer who I have just been absolutely loving and have been just so obsessed with when it comes to summer style and just like the content that they're putting out. Julia Mervis. And I know she's been that girl. She always has been that girl, but she is that girl right now. Like, I feel like this is her moment, and she has just been absolutely killing the fashion and just oozing like inspiration and like summer inspiration. I feel like when I think of like Julia Mervis, I think of the summertime because she just knows how to dress in the summer. And what I love about her too is like she's not following the trends. She is dressing to her taste, to her style, to her body style. Like she just knows how to build an outfit that is authentically her and like who she is as a person. And I'm just drawing so much inspiration, not only from, like, the looks, but just, like, she is dressing, like, as who she is. She's dressing for her taste and what she likes, and I think that's such a huge lesson and a huge message that needs to be projected to the masses is it's really hard to find ourselves to not be caught up in the trends and like what's popular and what's in right now. And I don't know, I feel like over this summer and like the past few months really is I'm really just trying not to pay attention to the trends and to like what's super popular, what's in right now. It's just dressing for what I like and wearing what I like. And I feel like that just brings such personality to your looks and makes them so authentically you. And I feel like honestly, that's when you get the most compliments, is when you are dressing to your style and not paying attention to anything else around you, what's popular now, what's not popular, and just like fully dressing to, I don't care if this is in right now, this is what I want to wear and I'm gonna wear it. And I mean, that girl is absolutely fucking killing it. She's killing it. I'm obsessed. I literally cannot get enough of her content. Her and Peyton are now posting on YouTube, and I'm just obsessed with their YouTube channel and just like everything that they're putting out, along with Bridget and Danielle. I have been obsessed and eating up their vlogs. They're just so good. They're definitely my comfort creators. I love them, and I just feel like they are breaking the barriers of what is such a saturated industry at the moment. Is I feel like everyone is doing the exact same thing. Everyone's trying to push product, and I think that's something that I'm just getting so sick and tired of social media and literally seeing just like copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. Yes, do I catch myself in that copy paste? Of course, absolutely. But like I think that especially if you're like a smaller creator or someone that's trying to start creating, I think that just like posting content that like is authentic to you is so important. And I think that's something that I really try to do with my content is not push a product. That's why I don't link stuff. Honestly, I don't link things. I'm posting for inspiration. Oh, I would have never thought to pair a top like that with pants like that or with shoes like that, or with a bag like that, or like I want people to pull inspiration and not literally copy paste. Let me throw it in a cart and let me buy it. And I think that's something that like needs to be talked about and it needs to be more common and I think it needs to be more organic. And if you're going to post content, don't be pushing products. Yes, of course, did I just post a Gap haul? Yeah, I did. But like not to push, hey, go buy Gap. More of like, hey, these are the new pieces I've got. I'm obsessed with them. Like take it for what it is, take inspo from it. Like, oh, you have a white top and you have a pair of shorts. Oh, I would have never thought to put those together. And I did, boom, and it looks amazing. But honestly, this is a little bit of a shorter episode, but to wrap up the episode, we need to have a little moment of silence and actually, truthfully, an actual moment of silence because the Kardashians did lose a member of their family. Their grandmother, MJ, did pass away last week. And I mean, she really was the blueprint to the Kardashian women, other than Kris Jenner, of course. So, a little moment of silence to the loss of their grandmother. And obviously, like they are such a big, close family. And I know the Kardashians get so much hate. But the one thing that I just always commend them for is just like their sense of family and how close they are as a family. And I think that's super rare when it comes to people in the spotlight is like they really are like a family unit. And I think that speaks volumes to a lot of families that are broken, especially because they do come from broken families, but like they are still so close and they make an effort and they make it a point to be one big happy family, no matter the history, no matter the past. And yeah, so um may MJ rest in peace and look over the Kardashians. But I love you guys so, so, so much. Thank you guys for listening to today's episode. And remember, new episodes will be released every Thursday at midnight. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to see more of the podcast, make sure to check out Fashionably Broke on Instagram, TikTok, on YouTube. If you want to watch past episodes, you can find it at Fashionably Broke Pod. And if you want to see more of me, be sure to check out my social media at Maddy Schweppe, MaddySchweppe. I love you guys so much. Thanks for listening. Bye.